Well, Alexander, 14 years old, coached by Eteri Tuberedze, Sergei Dudikov, and Yevgeny Kankau. She's got quads, 3 of them planned. See, she wants those elements, goes after them, is not afraid. She has extraordinary courage and great quality. Here's the quad Lutz.
She started a quad revolution, Alexandra Trusova, but who's the person behind the quad queen? In this video we are going to talk about the childhood and uprising of Alexandra Trusova, as well as of her future, her role as a mother and her comeback to national competition. Okay, so let's get started. So, Alexandra Trusova was born on the 23rd of June 2004 in Ryazan, which is a city of approximately 500,000 inhabitants, 200 kilometers southeast of Moscow. So, she started skating at the age of 4 years old only in Ryazan, but she moved to Moscow for training, where she was coached under Alexander Volkov, and then in 2016, 1 year later, she joined Eteri Tuberedze's academy, Sambo 70, where she trained from now on, which brings us to her international junior debut. So Trusova had her international junior debut in the 2017-2018 season in the Junior Grand Prix in Australia, where she did land a quad Salchow, which was however under-rotated, but it just shows us how much of a pioneer she is, jumping difficult quads at only 13 years old. She did win this competition. She did end up in first place, and she also did win the Junior Grand Prix in the season 2017-2018, in which she fully rotated a quad sole, making her the first woman to do so, and also landed first quad toe in female figure skating. She did place first in the competition before her teammate Alyona Kostanaya, and she also won a Russian Junior National in the same year. Trusova started the 2018-19 season with a new program. She started with several wins into the new season, and she even attempted a quadruple Lutz jump, which was however not ratified at first because it was under-rotated. She later landed it cleanly though, making her the first woman to land a quad jump in an international competition. She placed second in this year's Russian Junior Nationals and managed to defend her world title, placing first before her teammate Anna Sherbakova. Trusova had her senior debut the following season with her infamous Game of Thrones program. Her first Grand Prix was the Skate Canada, which she won. She did also qualify for the Grand Prix final in Turin, in which she attempted a triple axel in her short program after she stated that she did land it more or less consistently in training. However, she fell, but she said that she has to take risks, and if she wouldn't take risks, she wouldn't be where she is right now. At the same event, she firstly landed a quad flip, making her the first woman to land a quad flip cleanly. However, Trusova was disappointed by her results internationally and nationally, as in the Russian Championship 2020 she did fall on two quads in the free skate and she popped her quadruple toe loop, making her placing third behind her teammates Anna Shcherbakova and Alyona Kosternaya. And for the 2020 European Championship, she again in the free skate fell on two quads, and again placed third behind her teammates, which made her a bit disappointed. However, the World Championship this year was cancelled due to COVID restrictions, so she could not participate in the World Championships. Starting off a new season, Alexandra Trusova decided to transfer from Team Zaporizhzhia to the famous project in Lukashenko in May 2020. She did have some problems throughout the season, although starting the season with silence at Russian Grand She had immense struggles with her triple axel, which she often under-rotated and fell, making her lose a lot of points in the short program. However, she managed to win the bronze medal in the 2021 Russian National Championships, and she was sent to represent Russia in the World's 2021 Championships this year, which she was the favorite to at least make the podium, and she managed to actually again get the bronze medal behind her Russian teammate Anna Shcherbakova, who won, and her other Russian teammate Elizaveta Tokarev. So now we are going to talk about maybe one of the most well-known seasons, the Olympic season. So back with Team Zaporizhzhia, Trusova decided to skate her free program to Cruella and her short program to Freedom. Throughout the season, of course, it was a tough competition because a lot of skaters wanted to qualify for one of the three Olympic spots that the Russian Federation had. There were several skaters who seemed good enough to be able to qualify, such as, of course, Alexandra Trusova, but also Alyona Kosternaya, Kamila Valieva, Anna Shcherbakova, or also Tuktamisheva, or also Maya, another skater from Team Zaporizhzhia. However, Sasha did this season. She was way more consistent than the last season. Of course, she still didn't land that triple axel, but her quads were more stable, and yeah, she landed them more frequently. And so it was no wonder that in this year's Russian Championship, she did place second behind Kamila Valieva. Trusova also made it to the podium, placing third at the European Championship 2022, and in January of 2022, the Russian Federation announced that Trusova would represent Russia at the Olympics. So now we're coming to the event. So since Kamila Valieva got to represent Russia in both the short and free skate in the team event, Sasha only had one chance to win the gold, which was in the individual event. She had the most difficult program with 5 quads planned, two of them in the second half, which gives them even more base value. However, she did place second, which was a great devastation for her since she counted with being first if she managed to land all these quads. However, she did make some minor mistakes to just add it up. And also she fell on the triple axel in the short program, which altogether just made her second place. Post-Olympics. So after the Olympics, a lot of things changed, especially in Russia, So Russia was from now on excluded from all ISU events from international competition. And Alexandra Trusova did have a new program, I Put a Spell on You, in the new season. She also left Eteri Tuporidze and transferred to Svetlana Sokolovskaya's academy, who is the current trainer of Kamila Valieva. She did, however, have struggles to maintain her quadruple jumps. She only had her quad loads left, and she also fell on it a lot of times. So she withdrew from the Russian Championship and other Grand Prix stages in 2023 and took a break from skating. Come back to international competition. So in the beginning of 2026, Trusova announced that she would be training with Tutberidze again and train for national or maybe even international competition. So in the meantime, Trusova did get married to fellow figure skater Makar Ignatov and got a son called Misha. And she did, in the meantime, in training, restore her quadruple toe loop and quadruple lutz, and she has recently announced that she has been working with the French choreographer Richaud, so she's also working on her artistic side. If you enjoyed this video, you might also wanna have a look into my other videos, and what's your opinion? Write it down into the comments, and thank you everyone for watching.